Family, the track we're about to interact with right now was brought to my attention via a donation from one of our subscribers. Now, if you want to recommend a song, the link to the PayPal is going to be in the description below because, of course, YouTube yanks 30% of super chats. Guys, I appreciate, as always, your open, curious attention. Back to the video. Guys, the fact that I am going to start it over should come as no shock to those who follow this channel. We must let them cook. And, listen, I got to go back a couple bars. But, one thing I want to say, initially is that, it started with kind of this jolt where the beat just kind of stabs you, right? After this this kind of peaceful, I don't know whether it's a synth at the beginning of the song, but the beat just jumps out at you when they start ripping that guitar, when they start knocking, those drums out the park. And what's interesting about it to me, is that the lead singer, his voice is so calm and almost whispery and raspy and daisy. And the beat is so aggressive. And that contrast is a very interesting thing. I'll go back. I need him to cook again. Guys, that "to the edge till we all get off" is a very interesting line because, like, to the edge, like, it's like, you might think of that as like a sexual reference, going to the edge and then getting off. Or you could think of it as some tragedy, right? Where to the edge of life, like where you get off of the journey, right? Where this is my stop. You know what I mean? Interesting. Guys, I do have to tell you, these are my favorite kinds of, I don't know whether you want to call this metal, but it's my favorite kind. Like when instead of just, like when you actually have vocals and you actually have an attempt at harmony, like an attempt to kind of bring me in and magnetize me toward that hook, right? I really, really respect that. Time Will See Us Realign is a very kind of hopeful, it's almost prayer-like, right? Saying like in time we'll see the meaning of all this, right? Shower me into the same realm. Time will see us realign. I think that's like a hopefully we'll meet you on the other side, or hopefully in time we'll come back together. And then diamonds rain across the sky. That one is still very cryptic to me, but it's like shower me in the same realm. It's like, it's like a I want to be with you. There's a longing in that. Into the same realm. Time will see us realign. when the coffin shakes. See, the coffin shaking to me is like what's dead isn't really dead. That's a disturbing image, right? A coffin shaking means something is trying to get out of there. You know, unless you're talking about just some like underground disturbance. But I think, you know, when the coffin shakes, come run away with me, right? And that's talking about, you know, meeting on the other side. When death is revealed as what it really is, right? And you know, listen, this is just my way of interpreting off of first watch. When the coffin shakes, to me means when death is finally exposed for the farce that it is, right? To me, death is just, it's our image. It's something that human beings see. It's a biological event, right? But it doesn't mean that you are over. It means your journey in this spacesuit is. I love that. When the coffin shakes. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. I might be. This is very cryptic. So family, at first he says, time will lead us to the same realm. And then at the end of the song, he says, I will lead us to the same realm. I don't know if you noticed that distinction. Time will versus I will. This song gives me a whole ton to chew on, but it's definitely a hope after a tragedy.